Farron Manuel, Director of the Black Art in America Foundation, also Head of Programming and Exhibitions here at Black Art in America. Today I'll be talking to you all about the portfolio featuring recent acquisitions and holdings from the Black Art in America collection. So we're here with Baldwin by Khalif Thompson. Khalif is an MFA student at Yale, close to completion, and previously Khalif was also represented by Black Art in America Gallery. This is an example of his work. Again, excellent painter, excellent at expanding narratives, and also his approach to collage is really remarkable also. So you have, James Baldwin in an interior scene. You have his wardrobe is collaged in. It looks, like James Baldwin's typical, fashionable, way of putting himself together. And also another one of his friends, Buford Delaney, with the portrait of James Baldwin that's actually in the Clark Atlanta University Museum's collection. And, a number of great collage elements to really bring the piece to life, give it a lot of that texture and character, and, also the appearance of time. Here's a piece by renowned artist Larry Walker titled Recess Wall, with Dreamcatcher, Wall Spirits, and Other Secret Manifestations. As you know, with Larry Walker's work, he takes these guerrilla marketed public spaces that have been torn, tarnished, posters added, posters taken away, and he uses this social pattern in order to create his narrative and his message as an artist. In this piece, you have references to the civil rights movement. You also have the antagonist of the civil rights movement, represented by the Ku Klux Klan here. You got references to popular movies like The Equalizer, which has Denzel, and to me, I'm thinking, Denzel also played Malcolm X in the film X, and you also have a reference to the letter X here, which is kind of commonplace in Larry Walker's work as he, covers a number of different historical narratives and moments. And, it's just a great example of a somewhat natural looking wall that has the guerrilla advertisement and basically that battle for a message to be displayed in a public manner. And here we have Weekend Hangout 2 by Akinola Tawhid, a Nigerian-based artist who has exclusive representation by the gallery. In this piece by Akinola, you have this characteristic portraiture with the additional textures added in. He likes to experiment with coloration of the hair. And also in this piece, you have a more developed scene of this brother swimming in a pool. You have the red, black, and green coloration, kind of alluding to the Garvey movement. And even if it's not a direct correlation, there's still like a cultural awareness just based on, like the proliferation of certain ideas going forward through time. So, a really culturally relevant reference. And also, for me, is really nothing better than an image of, Black folks in self-satisfied predicaments. And this piece is titled Garden Bed by Brittany Leanne Williams. As you can see, she uses the body as a canvas for light. Really great explication of her technical skill as an artist. And her play with light and color is really impressive. And the subject matter, she has a full-figured woman, nude, but you also have this shallow wall around the figure, which somewhat can imply insecurity or the insignificance of an insecurity, just as an onlooker speaking on the piece. And a really interesting color palette, and this play with black paint and darkness and light is, again, impressive. This is a piece titled Legacy by Tracy Mims. Tracy Mims actually has an upcoming solo exhibition here at Black Art in America the first weekend in October. And in this piece, Legacy, you have a wood block next to the woodblock print, just as a teaching example to show people how woodblocks are made, and also to give you an idea of the texture and the fine approach to the wood cut in this piece, how many details it actually takes to get the completed image and have these details to transfer, and the level of planning an image and where the artist wants the ink to land in the final rendering of the work. In this pairing, you have The Vogue by Obiora Nwankwo, and also Miriam Moma's Our Emperor's New Clothes, featuring Andre Leon Talley, well-known fashion icon. And I thought it would be, worthwhile to position him next to this Vogue image to really highlight his impact on the fashion world and art history and the culture. And these two pairings from the Black Art in America collection really give us an opportunity to have conversations around fashion, where the credit goes, and also to highlight, two really great contemporary artists. So, these two pieces, on this exterior wall, you have this rounded painting on a non-traditional canvas by Derek Phillips, where he's highlighting the history of Fred Hampton and Huey P. Newton, early pioneers of the Black Panther Party, in the form of how these figures are positioned on this non-traditional canvas. Their mouths have been removed, and there's a bar-like structure in the way, which could really imply the silencing of great historical figures. Now, this piece by Pow Wow, which is titled Booger Bear and the Death of Hines, I just think it's a really great narrative where he's highlighting discrepancies in land ownership and how major corporations have encroached on smaller independent farmers in order to turn a greater profit. And it's a really great way to kind of unpack these narratives and divulge some of this history in a really interesting and visually thought-provoking way. So also, in the show, the available works have been curated in sections that are inspired by the permanent holdings of Black Art in America. So, you have different themes like self-satisfaction, being inspired by Akinola Tawhid's work. So we have, this section of reclining women and, women that look like, they're self-satisfied. They have a sense of peace and serenity about them. And, these types of images are important and inspirational as well, and we need that type of inspiration. Here we have a musing on cultural continuity and, also family, community. So, interior scenes by Najee Dorsey and Kerry James Marshall, which evoke a connection through time of different cultural concepts, and also the remembrance of a history and the remembrance of time and conversation, family interaction. Even with Evan and Aaron, you have a reference to the year 1619 and the word Titans on a t-shirt, which really evoked the Herculean type strength that it takes to survive that historical arc of time. And these are three great pairings that kind of help to stimulate those thoughts. In this section of the show, we're highlighting works by legacy artists, thinking about them as contemporaries, even though now they have these really impactful legacies, but thinking about Dr. Samela Lewis in relation to Professor Driscoll and Romare Bearden, and how these artists maneuvered in their time, the type of subject matter that they wanted to put forth, and the type of intricate connections that they made within our visual language. We really wanted to inspire people by using the holdings of Black art in America as a way to anchor the show and also inspire people with available works and get the public to consider becoming patrons, supporting artists, supporting art within a particular context, and also stimulate people's desire to become expert at something.